Hey guys, Richard Aficionado channel and reefs.com, and we're in the show floor of Reef A Palooza Chicago. And it's like brand new thing, like I'm having a hard time to say because this is the first show of its kind in Chicago, and we're very excited to be here. And one thing that really surprised me and pleasantly surprised was to see my good friend Ken Easter of Coral Frenzy here. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing great.
You've been missing in action for a few years now. It's so good to see you around in the show floor like this. And I've also noticed that you released a couple of new things for us this year.
Yeah, so we reformulated our powder. We took the oyster larvae out due to issues where we weren't allowed to import it into Australia or Japan.
Gotcha.
So we decided to take the oyster larvae out. When we did that, we decided to add probiotics to our blend. So the reason why you haven't seen me in a while is we've been testing it for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Once everything was finalized and formulated how we liked it, then we released it.
Is there a reason why you took out the oyster larvae for Australia and Japan?
Well, it's against the law to import any product into Australia that has oyster products in it.
Gotcha.
A long time ago, I don't know the exact time, they had imported in some oysters from another region.
Yeah.
And it caused a problem with the disease problem.
Like pathogens released or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it almost decimated their entire oyster population. So you can't import anything with oyster in it, no matter how. I mean, this was in a powdered form. It's obviously no longer living.
Right.
But it doesn't matter.
Gotcha. So nothing that was bad from the oyster itself, but I mean, without their laws and stuff like that too.
Exactly.
Gotcha. And now, I actually was very fascinated with this inclusion of probiotics. And one thing that really draws me to your product is how transparent you are with all the ingredients and all the bacteria that goes inside. And this was no different from your usual stance on being transparent. And you actually release the names of all the bacteria and etc. in here.
Exactly. We've been that way since the beginning.
Right.
It's one thing, I wouldn't put anything in my own body that I didn't know what was in it.
Right.
So we felt the exact same way when we decided to have all the ingredients listed out in Coral Frenzy. And in the beginning, everybody thought we were crazy because they were like, well, people will just copy you.
Right.
And people have tried to imitate us.
Yeah.
But there's a science behind everything. I mean, it's not an exact science, but you need to know exactly what you're adding to your product.
What made you guys add probiotics into your food?
So it's more about water clarity. The whole reason why we added probiotics was for the water clarity. The cleaner your water is, more than likely the better your corals will do.
Right.
Sometimes you always want to get, some nutrients in your water, but you don't want to strip them completely out.
Of course.
But you also don't want to add excess nutrients that are unneeded.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually decided to give this a test, and we actually cultured these bacteria and then we put it under a microscope, and we actually found out these are actually viable bacteria. And then what we also found out is that the hay bacteria that you used is that it's a gram-positive bacteria, so it actually works as eating nitrates. We've been burned so many times in this hobby with a lot of snake oil products, so it's very refreshing to see, as someone that's, like you, who was very transparent about everything, and also when product says it will do something certain like things, and it will do this, and it actually doesn't.
I mean, that's one of the things that we wanted to make sure of is, so we made it very clear that the probiotics are not there to feed the corals. It's only there to help with the water quality. So I think it's really important that people know that, so they don't think that their corals are actually eating probiotics.
Do you think that inclusion of probiotics, or do you think if corals consume it, do you think it'll be beneficial to corals in any way? Because like for us humans, when we ingest probiotics, or even animals, it goes to the gut and digestive system, and it actually helps them to balance the bacteria in our system.
I don't know if that'll be the case. There aren't any long-term studies. We're obviously not the first company to use probiotics. Probiotics have been used in the aquaculture industry for 25, 35 years.
Right.
So we were never able to find any studies where corals were it actually helped them. It obviously didn't hurt them.
Right.
So that's why we decided to include them in our product also.
Gotcha. well, inclusion of the probiotics inside, like has anything changed? Like, do we have, I mean, is price or retail price changed or anything like that?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because we actually increased the sizes on everything. So now with the powder, we have a 45, 90, and a 180 gram jar size for all those. With that, when we decided to do that, we also decided to make MAP pricing and retail pricing exactly the same. And for those of you who don't know what MAP is minimum advertised pricing. So a store can sell it for whatever they would like to inside their store, but for online, you can only sell it for the minimum advertised pricing. And we did that to protect the retail stores.
Gotcha. And then I've been noticing a lot of your online presence has been growing a lot. You guys been very active in social media. If our viewers can find you, where they can find you on social media?
So you can find us on Facebook and both Instagram. We just started up Instagram. As you know, I'm not real tech savvy when it comes to social media, so it was something different for me.
Yeah.
But we're getting the hang of it.
So basically, skimmer off, and let it sit in the water for a couple minutes, so the bacteria will come alive, and just spread all over the like in front of the power head or wave maker where it will distribute the food throughout the whole tank.
A lot of people like to target feed too. I just think it's a lot of work, but a lot of coral farmers especially that are using it will target feed. It's just too expensive for them to broadcast feed an entire tank.
Right.
So they'll target feed their the top corals, and then the other corals will just get the residual of what they're feeding. Yeah,
I actually I don't really like to target feed as much because, like you said, it is a lot of work, but there are a few corals that I really favor over others. I'm a big fan of meat corals because, like the interaction that you get from meat coral is when you target feed them, how they open up immediately and how they consume the food is very captivating for a lot of people that that gets to see it. And so with my kids,
it's kind of exciting.
It really is, and it was funny to me because when I tried it with your food, I made it a little bit pasty, and I target feed it, and then it created like a mucus, and whatever it did in the larger particles, what it didn't consume, the mucus kind of caught all of it, and then started like slurping it down like some kind of spaghetti, and that was very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Well, Ken, thank you so much for coming to this show. I mean, it's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing more of you in the future with these type of shows, and congratulations on your new release, rebranding of your food. And
thank you very much.
I look forward to hear more of your innovation.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you for having me. I mean, it's been a long time. We've been wanting to do this for a couple of years now, at least 3 or 4 now. So I'm glad we finally got to catch up and do this.
For sure. Thanks, Ken.
All right. Thanks, Richard.
Take care.